Samir was a wealthy oil heir who had dedicated himself to the family business. When he was 40 years old, he decided to give himself an opportunity and fell madly in love with Zaira, a girl 15 years younger than him, to whom he married. However, his chauffeur assured him that the young woman was cheating on him. Fed up with all the intrigue, the millionaire took the place of his chauffeur, disguising himself so that he could spy on his wife. And what he discovered was even worse than he imagined. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. We are here today with a new interesting video. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories like this one. Samir was a very nice man, good looking and of noble feelings. He grew up in Dubai, surrounded by luxury and comfort. However, he decided to emigrate to the United States to study finance at a prestigious university. His parents engaged him in marriage to his cousin Kalia when they were barely 5 years old. Therefore, when he decided to travel to study, they reminded him of the commitment he had. His cousin was very nice, but Samir didn't love her and told his parents that he respected all the rules of their culture, but that he didn't believe in loveless marriage. After countless conversations, they managed to convince him that he should keep his word. Samir told them that they had his word of honor and that he would keep his commitment. But after graduating from college, his cousin didn't agree with the marriage either, since both were so young with very different ideals from the traditional culture. However, they knew defying those rules could end badly. A beautiful friendship was born between them, and they cultivated it even at a distance. When Samir was a year away from graduating, he told his cousin that it was time to start planning the wedding. She replied that she would share all the preparations with him, although she wasn't sure what steps she was going to take. However, fate had prepared another path for that arranged couple. As the young woman asked him to take her to the United States before getting married, Samir agreed, because the idea was that they would live in that country when they were wed. The bride travelled with her mother, but they never reached their destination. The plane suffered a mechanical failure and plummeted into the ocean. There were no survivors. Samir was shocked because his cousin was his best friend, and what happened broke his heart. After that, he didn't feel like going back to his country and told his parents that he would stay to work in America. Years passed, and when his sick father called to ask him to take over the family oil business, he couldn't refuse since he was an only child and he knew how much the business meant to the family. Samir was in his 40s when he settled in his beloved Dubai to support his mother in caring for his dad. When the man passed away, obviously he was the universal heir and took care of all the affairs of the family. One afternoon, while leaving a meeting, he bumped into Zaira, a graceful but humble young woman who worked as a receptionist at the hotel where he had a work appointment. Samir was mesmerized by the beauty of that girl, to the point that the next day he returned to greet her and later invited her to lunch. Knowing who he was, she refused to accompany him, but he told her that social classes were an invention of people whose minds were too crooked to believe themselves different from others. With his arguments, he managed to convince her, and after that meal they met each other often until they became a couple. Zaira didn't hide from him that she was of humble origin, but he didn't care about that, and 6 months later they married. Samir's mother wasn't happy because she didn't know anything about the girl. In Zaira's social circle, it was commented that she'd won the lottery by marrying a millionaire 15 years older than her. In addition, everyone agreed she had accepted him out of interest. Samir trusted his wife, in whom he saw a good and honest woman. However, his mother was always telling him that he had got the wrong person. Then the situation worsened when his faithful chauffeur told him that he suspected that his wife was cheating on him. Every day she had asked the chauffeur to take her to a place far from the city, where she would enter a house and spend hours there. Samir didn't believe that his wife was capable of cheating on him. But what was she doing against the rules? since the woman must give account to her husband of everything she does, and she never told him about this. So, Samir hired an impersonator who worked in the film industry in his country and asked him to put makeup on himself to make him look like his chauffeur. After 4 hours of makeup, Samir was ready and he went home, as if he were the chauffeur. Zaira wanted to take advantage of the fact that her husband was away so she could go out earlier. She called the chauffeur and told him that they would go to the same place as always. He boarded the vehicle and took her to the point where she had previously instructed him. She got out and started walking down a narrow alley that couldn't be reached by a car. Samir didn't know what to do, but after an hour of pondering things, he got out of the car and reached the shack his wife had entered. When he opened the door, the world came over him, for he was able to contemplate how his wife fed a humble old man who was bedridden. Zaira screamed when she realised she'd been discovered by the man whom she believed to be the chauffeur. She told him, "This man is my father." She went on to explain that she had not told her husband about him, because the old man had asked her not to. Her father believed that as a sick man, he could become an obstacle for his daughter's happiness, but she promised she would never abandon him, and so went in secret to care for him. At that moment, the old man said his priority was the happiness of his daughter. He too was happy because he knew she had fallen in love with a good and noble man, and he did not want to come between them. "Madam, are you in love with your husband?" asked the chauffeur. "I love him with all the strength of my soul, although his mothers and many others think I'm with him because of his money. The truth is that Samir is a wonderful man who does not need to be rich to be loved. I'm happy because I've found that I'm pregnant and I can't wait to return home to tell him," replied Zaira. At that moment, Samir began to remove his makeup and apologised to his wife for having allowed himself to be carried away by doubts. Likewise, he told his father-in-law that nothing would make him happier than having him under his roof. They collected all the old man's things and took him to live in the mansion where he spent his last days, happily surrounded by the couple and their 5 children. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and share